The hunt begins. Should we ditch Petal to save ourselves? And what about that crazy Dave? Well, stick around. We've got a lot to talk about on the A-List After Show on AfterBuzz TV.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Just gotta jam out real quick. I'm getting pumped up. I'm super excited. We are on episode 12 of the A-List on Netflix. Run, Mia, run. Oh my gosh. What's up, everyone? I'm your host tonight, Ollie Drennan. Unfortunately, I am alone. Archie J, he got sidetracked. We got split up. We got attacked by all the Peregrines, on the island, Peregrine Island. Everyone with the masks. It was really a hard day in LA getting separated. But anyways, I'm here with you guys chatting in the live chat. I already see you guys are popping off. Valentina, Applebear, Amy Wee. You guys are so loyal. You're not like flip-floppy like Kaylee. So I really appreciate you guys. You guys are my co-hosts tonight. We're covering episode 12, like I said. And later on, we're also going to do episode 13, the season finale. I cannot believe it's already here. Oh, very bittersweet, but I'm so excited to talk all things A-List tonight. We got lots to talk about. Like I said, we're going to talk about the hunt, Patelix, our favorite ship that might not be going so well, and also this epic cliffhanger that we left off on, and Luca, kind of ditched us. And by the way, who are they? Someone please enlighten me. But until then, let's get on to initial thoughts, because I need to just vent a little bit. And let me know if you're in the chat. I see you all. Let me know your initial thoughts of this episode. Already talking. Amy Wee says, I guess the writers don't ship Patelix. I agree. Apple Bear says, poor Petal. She finally has to talk with Alex and then turns into a vegetable. I even said that last night. It's so sad. And Amy also says, Patelix is playing with my heart emoji. Oh, I couldn't agree more. But like I said, I need to vent because so much happened this episode, especially with Mags. We learned so much about that character and her backstory and her interactions with Midge, a year prior to this to present day. So it's so interesting. She knows so much more than she was letting on. And I think Amber was really trying to hide that from everyone. And then, of course, Dave is creeping me the hell out. I want, my original Petal back, not this vegetable. We're just calling her vegetable, veggie. I don't know. But let's go on because I'm so excited to talk about Patelix. So let's go on to our first topic, which is Patelix and kind of their not so much reconciliation, but more so the talk that Alex was having to Petal in this state. She's not really all there. She is, but she's not taking in everything Alex is saying, but Alex is doing her best to open up to Petal despite her state of mind. I think Alex is a character that has a very rocky, hard exterior. I see her as a character that's been through a lot, and so she's very guarded. She has walls, so maybe she's not too keen on automatically linking up with, maybe someone who's a relationship, maybe something more than just a friend. She was able to kind of befriend Mia, but I think they were kind of also, that's a different relationship, that's not a romantic one. And I definitely believe in my heart that Alex does have feelings for Petal deep down. It's just a shame that Petal, they're having this conversation when Petal's not all there. Let me check the chat and see what you guys are saying. Valentina says, my friend warned me that Mags was shady. Oh, she's a little shady, but at least in this episode, she was giving us some tea, okay? She was giving us some answers that we were waiting for this entire season. I do have to... I was questioning Mia because I feel like Mia was a little shady in this episode, wanting to ditch Petal just to lose track of Amber, because Amber was kind of tracking them through Petal, because Petal's kind of a liability, no lie, but I'd still feel bad for her at the same time. Alex was thinking she was like, no, we're not losing Petal. So I think she also feels really guilty how she treated Petal in the past. And, but also, I kind of almost flipped the switch with Mia, because the minute Dave popped up and scared the crap out of me during that whole conversation of should they ditch Petal, I was like, okay, maybe we should ditch Petal just for a little bit. But then I was like, oh wait, no, Petal's my friend. I appreciate Petal, but Dave was something else, and he's just I'm not a fan of Dave. I don't know what you guys think about Dave. But yeah, let me know what else you think about Petalix. That Apple Bear says that was too much, so sad, and Alex took too long to open up. I agree, but the silver lining in this, last thing I'll say about this relationship is that I'm really excited to see where it'll go in season 2. I think if they wrap this storyline, this relationship with Petal and Alex too quickly, it might seem a little forced. And I think it's just kind of like a good setup for season 2. You know, not everything can be wrapped up in a pretty bow in season 1. So that's like my saving grace of it all. So before we get on to our next topic, I will have to say thank you guys so much for letting us be the ESPN of TV Talk. I love chatting with you guys about this show. Apple Bear, Amy, Valentina, you guys rock. I love chatting about this and theorizing each week, each after show. I'm getting new ideas, and you guys are helping me come up with like so many amazing, fun ideas with this show. And, you know, we have multiple channels. We have drama, which we're already on. We have, you know, TV, reality television competition, animation, sci-fi, superheroes. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite channels. So subscribe, like, share with your friends and family. We really appreciate it. We have so much content out there that we just want to reach all of you guys and talk about media that we love so much. And give us a download, you know, because sometimes we might not be having access to Wi-Fi like some of these campers. Until then, thank you guys again for letting us be the ESPN of TV Talk. We really appreciate it. So let's get on to our second topic, which is Mags, because Mags was finally spilling the tea in this episode. Oh yes, Valentina, I agree. Dave is the worst, but I'm glad he wasn't in this episode too much. But Mags really gave us the answers, like I've been saying. Finally, after 12 episodes, Mia and Alex confronted, I think Harry was there too, confronted Mags in like the laboratory. And we come to find out Mags was actually someone who was treating Midge after the accident and trying to get her brain back together. And I had to write this down to get everything clear and concise. All right, just bear with me, everyone. So Mags, like I said, Mags treated Midge after the accident, and they were successfully regenerated her brain, and the Amber personality emerged mentally and physically. So, okay, we're getting some answers here. So, also though, I need to know, who is they? Mags kept referring to they. And I'm thinking to myself, who is they? Is what they one person? Is that actually their name? They're called they? Is it a group of people? I need to know. But Mags is doing this under the influence of they. So, okay, I'm thinking, okay, Amber might not be the big bad. It might be they. I might not be making too much sense here, but I have so many ideas throwing through my brain right now. And I think this also explains the drone that we've been seeing, and we see it in this episode. That must be coming from they. They is watching them all. I am not speaking correct English. I know, people, but come on. This is the A-list. Nothing makes sense. Amy Wee says, Max is like a mad scientist. But she's a little mellow in this episode, I will say. I appreciate that. But I also think because everyone's confronting her. And she doesn't really have friends because no one wants to be friends with Dave. So another thing Mags did mention was that they told them to stay in position and await further instructions. That already seems creepy. They're very discreet, I'll say. And I think they're doing this because they don't want to be found out by anyone on the outside world. Maybe that's why they made them get off the grid at some point, especially with Dave. And I think they're doing this because Amber was successfully emerged through through trying to rescue Midge. So much information. I'm still processing it all, but stick around because we're going to find out more about the situation, hopefully in the season finale. So let's get on to our last topic of how this episode ends. Okay, well, Dev kind of finally turns once again, flip-flopping on Mia. And I just give him the side eye. This is why, honestly, I know this is more for next episode, but I just have to say it. I don't know if I've really been a fan of Dev. I don't know. I feel like we haven't really known the true Dev. It's been too much fake Dev from Amber. And I almost like Luca more than Dev. I don't know about you guys, but I really like maybe Luca being with Mia instead of Dev and Mia. But I'm just being biased here. That's my opinion. Let me know yours. Apple Bear says the series is mysterious like the society. Yes, I agree. Another amazing show, by the way. But anyways, this episode ends with Dev, like I said, turning on Mia, and then Amber and company find out through Amber confronting Mags, which was a very creepy scene. She gets control over Mags, and then she finds out the entire plan that Mia was trying to do by escaping the island on the boat. So that didn't happen because Amber was too quick to find out everything, and they confronted them before they could even leave. And oh my gosh, I know I just said it, Luca, I'm team Luca, but Luca did do a dirty. He did a disservice to his crew because he joined them in this episode. He jacked the boat and left. He left Team Mia. I was like, dang, okay, everyone's flip-flopping. I don't care. I still really like Luca. I think he did that for a reason. Okay, and we're going to talk about it in the next after show, I bet. So stick around. So this left on a cliffhanger. It wasn't that great of a cliffhanger because my boy Luca, like I said, he jacked the boat. But what else did you guys think about this? Valentina also agrees with me. Luca and Mia, yes, absolutely. And Amy said Dev is just Amber's minion. Exactly. This is why I personally just don't really care for Dev. And then Valentina says, I think Mags is possessed by some plants. Yes, that was another topic kind of that was talked about with Mags, of how plant life. I feel like we as humans, this is kind of a tangent, we as humans kind of disregard plants. We don't really appreciate them, but there's so much life in plants. And the plants, the trees, that's what's giving us oxygen. So I kind of like that idea that this show is kind of implementing the power of plants and how we're kind of like looking at them. We're overlooking plants and the power and the life that they provide for us. So that's really deep and very beautiful. And, just learn to appreciate the little things like plants and trees and flowers and petals and vegetables, okay? Oh, last thing before we do start to wrap up, Amy Wee says Mia can't find a decent guy. And honestly, I kind of agree. Maybe she should just get with Harry, because Harry's the only guy that's been consistent. I don't know, but start getting those predictions and theories ready. Before that, let's get to some, why don't we just get to some news? Because I think there's a really fun article that I found that I'd like to talk to you guys about.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So actually, I think this is two articles that I actually came across. In an interview with Den of Geek, the show co-creators Dan Berlinka and Nina Metivier, sorry, I think I butchered that last name, I apologize, described the series as a mix of Mean Girls meets Lost. We reference Mean Girls constantly. I know we've talked about that on the show, after show, definitely. And we have a lot of history with grafting genres onto very everyday teen stories, putting realistic characters in genre settings. We like to write characters who are living in a world where these other shows exist. They're very self-aware, says Berlinka. And also, to further, this is another article that I found. The cast, this is really important because the cast really wants a season 2. This is why I brought this up. The cast sounds all too ready to film a second season, right? Of the plot-twisting thriller, too. For a lot of us, A-List is our first big job, and we had such a great time filming it. Hopefully, we get a second season. It will be really interesting to see where all the characters go. And this was said by Ellie Duckles, who plays Amber, and she was talking to the BBC about that. So I just wanted to, put that out there because I know we were talking, someone in the chat said that The Society was a really big influence, but also Mean Girls was a huge influence, and all the cast really want to get a second season, especially Ellie, and I really want to see Ellie kind of play up Amber and see where Amber, and hopefully flesh out Amber, not make her out to be like this antagonist. So let's get on to our special segment because we've got to end this after show on a good note, since the cliffhanger was kind of like very sour. So let's make it sweet with MVC of the week. And let me know, everyone in the chat, who is your MVC? And that's, of course, stands for Most Valuable Camper in this episode. It's really hard to pick who I think it was, to be perfectly honest. But let's see. You know what? We didn't really talk about him in this episode, but I will say Harry. He stood out to me in this episode. I know we didn't even talk about, I mentioned him really briefly, but I think he really showed his skill set at one point during the whole lab scene. He was telling everyone, look, just go on without me. I have to get the battery going. Basically using his brains and his intellect. And I think that really shows his strength as a character and his usefulness as a part of the team, Team Mia, and how maybe he's not the biggest player, but he's that person behind the scenes who's really pulling the strings and helping his friends to hopefully get off the island. So I really do have to give it to Harry in this episode. And of course, Apple Bear says MBC Alex for speaking up. Very good. Amy. Amy Wee throws a little bit of shade. I mean, we love it though here at AfterBuzz TV. Harry cause he finally got a soundbite. So true. And that's why I have to give it to him. He really did show his capabilities in this episode. So I have to give it to Harry. And I don't think Archie and I gave it to Harry at all in this season of the after shows yet. But yeah. We won't do predictions this after show just because I've already seen the season finale, so it would be kind of weird to do predictions. But until then, stick around right there because the season finale after show of the A-List is starting very shortly, like maybe like 5 minutes, I don't know. But stick around, like I said, keep those live chats going and get those predictions going because we got to talk about this season finale that was crazy. And until then, I'm your host, Ollie Drennan. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Ollie Dreamer. I will see you guys very shortly for episode 13 of the A-List.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.